Western Illinois University.
Coming up on Local Sports Focus, the Western Illinois baseball team exploded with offense yesterday against the SIUE Cougars. We have highlights of the matchup coming up later.
And the WIU golf team, they hosted the 45th annual Bo Masato Invitational this past week. We have highlights and a recap of the action from the Harry Masato Golf Course.
And the Leathernecks softball team opened up a crucial three-game homestand against IUPUI. We recap the series, and later we'll chat with the head coach on the big matchup coming up this weekend against NDSU. Local Sports Focus starts right now. Good morning and welcome to Local Sports Focus, a show that covers everything Western Illinois and Macomb High School athletics. I'm Danny Fry.
And I'm Jason Chauvin. On today's show, we'll have highlights from Macomb High softball, WIU baseball, and a preview of tonight's Seamus Relay event at Hanson Field.
But let's start on the golf course. That sounds nice, right? The Harry Masato Golf Course, that is. It was a site of the 45th annual Bu Masato Invitational. WIU, along with 12 other teams, would battle it out for the title.
Other than Friday's rain shower, it was a beautiful few days for the Bu Masato Invitational. Early on in the tournament, Andrew Blackburn, who joined us last week in studio, he was excited and teed off and then had some work to do moving down the course. He would end up tapping that one in on the hole. For par, he finished with a three-round score of 222.
Next up was Drew Eden for the Leathernecks, also on the purple squad for Western Illinois. And he had to slice around the trees a little bit on the somewhat challenging for me, Harry Masato Golf Course. And then he would sink a medium range putt after diving out of the trees. Eden had the lowest score after round one of anybody in the tournament, shooting a 66. And then the purple squad would be victorious from there in its own invite. The gold team ends up coming in 8th for Western Illinois.
They take first place with a team spot of 863. Western's gold squad grabbed the 8th slot with 910 overall. Next up for the Leathernecks, the Summit League Championship. That will take place in Newton, Kansas, beginning on April 30th.
Let's move to the diamond. The Leathernecks softball has been on a roll in conference play. They have yet to drop a series this season in conference play. After a lengthy rain delay on Friday afternoon, the Jaguars of IUPUI took the diamond against the Leathernecks at Mary Ellen McKee Stadium.
In the rain, the Jaguars getting on the scoreboard first on an RBI knock by the catcher, Ronnie Patterson, but Emily Ira, she wouldn't have many problems after that. Bottom of the second now, Haley Dua drills a pitch high and off the plate over the right field fence to tie things up at 1-1. She greets her teammates at home plate.
Next up for the Leathernecks would be the pitcher, Emily Ira. Help out your own cause. How about some back-to-back jacks to put Western ahead 2-1? And then, of course, it's the trot around the bases for Emily Ira. As you see the rain starting to come down, this footage courtesy from our friends at WIU Softball. And Holly Holting, she leads the team in RBIs, and see why right there. Nice piece of hitting. A single to the right side, making it 3-1 Leathernecks. And then in the bottom of the sixth inning, Taylor Messer wanted some insurance, and there it is. The Livers with her 4th blast of the year over the left field fence. The Leathernecks take game 1 of the series, Jason.
They won it 6-1. Emily Ira goes 7 strong, giving up only 2 hits over the course of the game.
Western wasn't done with IUPUI, though. That originally scheduled doubleheader was moved to Saturday. So let's go ahead to the first game of the doubleheader Saturday.
Right now, top of the first with the bases loaded, Maggie Armstrong rips a base knock to bring around 2 IUPUI runs. 3-0 Jaguars lead it after the top half. And let's stay right there. Nice double play here from Nina Maggio. She gets the double play to get them out of the first inning scoring threat. We're going to skip now just a little bit later to the bottom of the first. Allie Compton, she dribbles a single up the middle to get the Leathernecks on the board, trailing it 3-1.
To the bottom of the second, Western trailing 3-1. Yeah, not anymore. Hallie Hollitz goes deep into the trees in left field, and it got out of here in a hurry, and that ties up everything at 3 runs apiece. And 2 runners on in the bottom of the third. The pitcher, Brooke Stoga, where'd the ball go? It went over the camera. She crushed it. 3-run homer, and all of a sudden, Western leads 6-3 in the bottom of 3, and the Leathernecks weren't done yet. It's now 7-3 Western. Couple batters later, Kelsey Marlowe will leg out a double to left center, making it 8-3 WIU. The Leathernecks led 9-3 after 3 innings. Taylor Chitwood is in this highlight because of her last name. She singles and sparks a little IUPUI comeback, trailing 9-5 in the top of the 4th.
Now, how about we skip to the bottom of the 4th? Blast off to left field for Haley Dua. She hits a homer in every game of the series as she makes the nice trot around and greets her teammates at home plate to celebrate. Already up 10-6. Nina Maggio, how about you get in on the party? She decided to hand Western some insurance with this base hit to left field. The Leathernecks win this series, though, on some nice defense. Can't forget about that.
Yeah, well, Leathernecks is running all around the diamond. They get the run to go ahead and plate. And then Brooke Stoga, who came back in the second time. Brittany Nepper, the defensive replacement. Good call, Coach V there. Nepper makes a great diving play, and that will end it. The Leathernecks take game 1 of the doubleheader, winning this one by a final score of 11-6. Nina Maggio, 4 for 5, also knocked in an RBI.
And in the second game of the series, Western would fall 10-5, but the Leathernecks keep their streak alive as they've won every Summit League series this year.
We're not done with the highlights just yet.
No, coming up next, we got more for you. Let's not forget about the MHS baseball team who played host to Camp Point Central. We'll recap the matchup after the break.
That was back on Thursday, and sticking with softball earlier in the week, Macomb High, the Lady Bombers look to bounce back at home against Havana on Monday. We have highlights of that showdown, all of that coming up next.
Amazing to expand on that resume. I try not to beat myself up on the mistakes I make because there's so many opportunities. Just giving that experience, and this is how I got to do things in the real world, is really what the broadcasting and journalism department has done for me. When you have a really good show and that everybody nailed it, I mean, that's one of the best feelings in the world.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Garrett Covington chose Western Illinois University because of the law enforcement program and the chance to be a Leatherneck.
Western has one of the best law enforcement programs in the nation, and I get to play the game I love. Whether I go pro or I go to law school, because of Western, I would take my success to another level. I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
And welcome back. The Macomb High baseball team, they were in action last week against Camp Point Central. The Bombers were looking to stop a 2-game losing skid at home.
Yeah, they're playing a really tough schedule. In Camp Point Central, the Panthers come in scoreless game until the top of the 5th when Lane Marlowe finds the hole to the left, and that brings in the very first run of the ball game for the Panthers. To the Bombers' half of the fifth, MHS leading 2-1, and they catch another break. Jacob Berg swings and misses, but the Panther catcher can't get his mitt on it, and a run cruises in for the Bombers. Later in the inning, Corby Foxall takes a big cut, and where's the ball? Well, there it is in the left corner of your screen, and it was 4-1 Bombers after 5 innings.
Now a looper to left, a diving attempt, but it would fall down for an RBI base hit in the bottom of the 6th. Higgins sees the stop sign at third, but the Bombers would add to that lead of theirs. Bases are loaded now coming up for Jacob Berg. He would take advantage here, poking it back to the mound. The throw home for the force, but the throw to first, that one's wild, making it 6-1. Macomb leads it. Now we're going to skip to the top of the 7th. How about we show some love to the defense? A 6-4-3 double play, making it tough for Central to make any sort of comeback that they were thinking about, but they didn't.
The Bombers secure the home victory 6-1, stop the 2-game losing skid. They take the field again tomorrow, taking on West Hancock at 4:30.
Now, how about we stick with Macomb High? The Lady Bombers softball team, they were looking to rebound from a loss last week against Camp Point Central. Macomb hosting Havana High School here.
Yeah, that Central team very, very good. The Bombers getting ready. Monday action from the softball diamond. Quick start for Havana. The Ducks on the board first with an RBI single to left. And then we'll go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. A wild pitch over the catcher's head. They're not scoring just one, but wait for it. Wait for it. Another run will come in for the Bombers, and they lead it 2-1. Lexi Leeser pounds a fly ball that the left fielder loses in the sun. Very sunny, windy day, and it adds to the 3-1 Macomb lead. And then the same thing would happen just a couple batters later.
Yeah, they got the same result going into left field. They got to play with the sun some more often, making the score 4-1 eventually for the Bombers. They would lead it. Later on, though, we got to show some love to the defense here. Bombers throw to first for 1 out, and Havana's a little aggressive. They send a runner home, but Emily Hance guns her down at the plate. She ends the inning on the nice defensive read.
Bottom of the 5th inning, Sophie Whitford laces it down the left field line on the ground as Maggie Vanillo comes in to score all the way from first base, chugging along for the Bombers. And then they would want some extra insurance runs still at this point. So Jordan Hare at the plate. She already has 3 balls ahead in the count. It's upstairs, checks her swing. Run comes in, makes it 7-1. That would be the final, Jason.
Yes, good win for the Bombers. They grab the 7-1 victory, and they will wrap up their 5-game homestand against Unity. First pitch is scheduled for 4:30.
Back to Western Illinois Athletics. Following a series win over Summit League foe South Dakota State, the Leathernecks geared up for revenge from an earlier 9-3 loss to SIUE.
Yes, the Leathernecks were coming in hot, and SIUE struggling on the mound of late. Western has been settling in. Lots of scoring. Cord Church here. He singles to right, making the first Leatherneck play of the day. One of the many runs on the day. That set up a big day for Drew Galassi. A 2-run single up the gut to center. That made it 4-1. Leathernecks lead it. And if you were digging the long ball last night, man, that was the night for you. Adam McGinnis steps into the box and he unloads a 3-run bomb, making it 7-1. Western leads it in the bottom of the 2nd. Look at him trotting around, enjoying his time, taking his time going around the bases. Now, how about we take a little bit fast forward to the bottom of the 3rd. Roman Vestine, he slashes a single to left for an RBI, and that made it 8-1. Leathernecks lead it. Talk about an offensive explosion so far.
It was, and Chris Tashida's like, hey, I can join Roman Vicentine with that. He'll join the hit parade in the bottom of the 4th, driving a gapper into left center. That will bring Adam McGinnis chugging along in, the former Waterloo Buck. Shameless plug right there. And then the bases would be loaded for Drew Galassi. Already said he had a big day, and he'll go oppo to left field. A grand slam as he trots around the bases. Was the man done, Jason? The man was not done yet. Galassi, after tapping helmet, steps up a little bit later, and he might as well be at Denny's because he orders another grand slam, this time to center, and Western Illinois wins a lot to a little.
Yeah, that's not saying too much. Leathernecks, they smack 20 hits and blow out SIUE 21-4. No, that is not a typo. Galassi went 5 for 5, 2 grand slams, and 10 RBIs In fact, the Cougars gave up 28 runs in their last game before coming to Macomb.
Did you know he did not have the most RBIs in the NCAA last year? Some guy from Indiana State drove in 11 right after. It's crazy. A lot of hitting coming up after the break. A big weekend for Western Illinois softball coming up. We'll sit down with the head coach and a member of the WIU marketing grad staff and a former softball player on what to expect this weekend in the series against the Bison.
All that and more is coming up next right here on Local Sports Focus.
A single ember from a wildfire can travel over a mile. That ember can ignite and destroy your home or community. You can't control where that ember will land. Only what happens before it does. Visit fireadapted.org to learn how you can help protect your community from wildfires.
I think what I love most about News3 is that we're really provided with a real-world experience. We're able to get hands-on work in news, and it's very similar to what you would find in a real newsroom, but everyone around here is really good about pushing you to be your best. News3 has really taught me to believe in myself and that if you work hard, you can achieve anything you want. News can sometimes be really tricky, and you have a lot of roadblocks. All of us hold each other to really high standards, and I think that really shows in our newscasts.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back to Local Sports Focus. A little bit of a bump there. We're back with two special guests anticipating an exciting weekend. It's the head coach of Western Illinois softball, Holly Van Vlymen, and Carissa Kuch's former Leatherneck softball player and now grad assistant in the WIU athletics marketing department. Two of you, thanks for waking up early and coming on here.
Oh, no problem.
Appreciate it. So, Coach, let's start with, we talked about in the highlights earlier, you won first 4 Summit League series. I mean, just talk about this Summit League start and this team so far.
Well, that's something that we talked about very early on, is our goal was to win every series. And that's something, you know, after our preseason, it didn't necessarily go the way we wanted to, but I always schedule a tough preseason so we are ready for Summit League play when it gets here, and I think that that definitely worked this year. So we talked about once we got through that preseason is, hey, this is a fresh start, this is our goal, we're going to win 2 out of 3, we're going to have, you know, we're going to play hard as a team, and we're going to come through, and that's exactly what they've done. So I've been very proud of them.
And Chris, a very big, and Coach, we'll talk about the NDSU series, break that down a little later, but maybe some of the stuff going on during the series. I'm sure a lot of people, I know at News3, we've talked about Reed Brewer and his story, and you're wearing a Team Reed shirt, and Leatherneck softball is supporting Reed with a whole game dedicated. Isn't that right? And kind of what are the details of that coming up this weekend?
So just a background on Reed. He's 6 years old. This is his second time battling neuroblastoma, and he is just the most spirited kid you'll ever meet in your life. So Coach V and I sat down, we're talking about what we want to do, and she's always looking to bring the community and get the girls involved somehow. So when Reed's story got brought to the table, it just seemed like the most opportune time. So this weekend, we are dedicating the entire game to making him feel like a celebrity. We'll have first pitch, front row seating, a grand entrance, kind of the works, and we're going to put all the stops out to make sure he has the best day.
And then you'll have a home run derby afterwards, right? And what are the details of everybody that can go ahead and sign up for that and try and knock it out of Mary Ellen McKee?
Definitely. So home run derby in itself is exciting because you get a chance to hit off of Hall of Fame pitcher, Coach Holly Van Vlymen. Right. And it'll be $10 for 10 pitches, but students get a little bit of a discount. It'll be $5 for 10 pitches for students. And then whoever wins that will walk away with a Beats pill.
Okay, so sign up, and then you will donate a lot. I know you have the shirts there. What are if someone wants a Team Reed shirt, what do they got to do to find you to get that?
Definitely. Back to the Derby, all of that money will go to Reed and his family. So that's a fundraiser in itself. And then these cute Team Reed t-shirts we'll be selling at the game also. You can sign up to order yours, and then we'll place that order following the game. They're $20, and sign up will be really easy. We'll have it clear as day when you walk into Mary Ellen McKee Stadium. You'll see t-shirt sign up. Come over, get your shirt, and proceeds from these also go to Reed's family.
Coach, it does seem like your team usually do get involved in things like help out in the community, whether it be that or just helping out, picking up stuff. I mean, really getting more involved, doing more than just playing softball and going to the classroom.
Well, I mean, that's what life is about, and that's what this college experience is about. It's not just about coming out and, winning championships on the field. It's about coming in and learning how to be a contributing adult when you leave. So getting involved in your community, getting involved in your classes, getting involved on other campus, entities, whether it's Love Your Melon or Dance Marathon or anything like that. So we encourage them to have that full college experience. That way when they leave here, they're really well prepared to go on and out into the world.
And Chris, I don't mean to put you on the spot here with Coach V right next to you, but what do you think you learned from that experience while you played 4 years at Western Illinois?
I think Coach V's focus, and I have friends that play college softball elsewhere, and I would just sit back and be like, gosh, I'm so lucky. And she would just make sure that we were well-rounded, that we didn't have all of our eggs in one basket or all of our focus just at softball. We are community members, we are good friends, we are good teammates, and we are good family members. Just growing as young women so we could be empowering adults and professionals when we leave. And I think that I have a greater focus and a greater appreciation for contributing to the community because that foundation was laid out for me in my 4 years of softball.
Coach, real quick here, North Dakota State, big series. They're normally perennial contender, but now Western Illinois at the top of the Summit League standings. What do you think you guys have to do to keep it that way and get at least a couple from NDSU?
We just have to keep doing what we've been doing, and that's something that we've talked about. We can't make any game bigger than what it is. It's still the same game, no matter if it's NDSU, IUPUI, IPFW. The Summit League has been a strong league this year, and so we just have to go out and just continue to have the same approach and do the things that we've been doing all along.
All right, well, Coach Van Vlymen, Carissa, thank you so much for coming on, and good luck this weekend, and hope to have great weather and everything for the Team Reed event. Coming up next, we will hear from the Leatherneck head coach on what to expect from the upcoming season. Would help if I read that before, and a preview of the Seamus Relays event happening tonight. That's next on Local Sports Focus.
How to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Hey, Hard, what's this?
That's my resignation letter.
You're resigning.
Why? Because you're constantly ignoring me. You're half as active as you used to be, and you get stuff like this. You've been putting me under a lot of pressure lately. That's why I'm ready to quit.
I forgot. I'll do better. Please, don't quit on me.
Okay, but remember, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you.
Let's go for a walk.
Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to a stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
You make me wear my bike helmet. You taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
My favorite thing about NEWS3 is you're constantly working with someone. If you're not going to work with someone, then your show's not going to go right. NEWS3 has really got me ready and prepared for the outside world. Traveling to do a tornado story, or if that even means traveling to Iowa to cover third graders, I get to work with some fantastic people. It wouldn't be the show that it was today without the production crew, without our anchors, without our talent. It's really a team effort, and I'm beyond blessed to be able to be here.
Welcome back. With the WIU football spring game taking place this Friday at Hanson Field, head football coach Charlie Fisher and the Leathernecks have been hard at work this spring getting ready for the season. Coach Fisher spoke to us about how the spring has gone, including some new additions to the coaching staff.
Guys are working hard. A lot of learning curve here with a new defensive coordinator and some changes on defense, not only from scheme, but obviously for staff. We got 3 new defensive coaches over there, and then offensively we're in the same system, just tweaking it a little bit and always trying to make it a little bit better. But the effort of these kids has always been great. Their want to and their ability to come out there and work hard for me every day, and so we're making strides.
Continuing 2-time award winner Redrick Terry's conversation with Coach Fisher, we asked him what the team expectations are for next season following a disappointing finish to last year.
First and foremost, we expect to win, to walk on the field. We've got, obviously, a bad taste in our mouth from the way the season ended a year ago. We were a 6-2 football team, and we're sitting there with the opportunity to win 9 games, or certainly, 7 or 8 and be a playoff team, and we stubbed our toe. We weren't able to finish the way certainly I had hoped and the way our team had hoped. So, we've got a lot of unfinished work, so to speak, and our guys are approaching it that way. They know the expectation here is to take our football program to the highest standard possible.
WIU football spring game is Friday night kickoff at 7 and a lot of pregame ceremonies before that.
Now switching gears, the WIU Athletics, they'll host the Seamus Relays this evening. The event was started to honor a WIU soccer coach's son who had cancer.
His son passed away in 2009, so this year's event is in honor of another local cancer patient.
So we're continuing to do that, but this year we're doing it for Reed Brewer, who's a 6-year-old from Good Hope, and he was diagnosed with neuroblastoma, and it came back, so all the money is going to him.
The Seamus Relays will take place tonight at 6 p.m. at Hanson Field. WIU students can participate in the 3-legged race and other events. There will be events for children there too.
Stay with us. We'll have a look at schedules for the upcoming week next on Local Sports Focus.
Hillary Dunn was convinced that Western Illinois University would invest in her.
My classes, friends, teachers, and activities have had a tremendous impact on my time here.
Hillary's passion for learning and helping others will lead her down a successful path.
Whether I choose graduate school or missionary work, I'll serve to the best of my ability because I am a success story. I am a Leatherneck.
Think purple, think success. Think Western Illinois University.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
I'd have to say it's just the fact that you can get involved right away. You walk in the door and you can learn all the equipment. And I've been able to anchor, I've been able to be a DJ on our student-run radio station here. I've been able to work any of the camera equipment and the audio equipment. The fact that you can get involved right away. Everybody's really friendly. They welcome you right when you walk in the door. And you report the news, but you can also have fun stories and hard news stories and conflicting stories. But yet you just get such a real-life experience here at News 3.
Here on Local Sports Focus, we want to inform you, our viewers, about the sporting events going on at Macomb High and Western Illinois University.
We end our show with a look ahead at next week's sports for the area.
Let's start with the Leatherneck Athletics. Another big weekend coming up for WIU sports. Softball and women's tennis will be the only programs at home. Softball will play North Dakota State in doubleheader action on Saturday starting at noon, and the women's tennis crew will play on Saturday against SDSU and Sunday against Denver, both here in Macomb. Baseball will head to Fort Wayne for a weekend series with the Dons, and track and field is back in it with the Musso Twilight Meet in Iowa City.
On the MHS side, Indian Auctioneer softball will be ready to go this afternoon against Unity tomorrow. They'll get back on the road against West Hancock. Baseball will do the same against the Titans at 4:30 tomorrow. Track and field will host senior night with Macomb Invitational on Thursday and a trip to Rushville Industry on Saturday morning. And girls soccer will play Fort Madison at home on Monday. A reminder, the boys baseball game at Moline, scheduled for this Friday, has been rescheduled for May 12th. Jason Chauvin, happy birthday! We only have 10 seconds left. That is all for us today here at Local Sports Focus. Make sure you tune in tomorrow for News 3 live at 4. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Happy birthday, Jason, if you see him around town.